Hey, Dr. Shakib here from Irvine Spine and Wellness Center, your Irvine Chiropractor. I am here with Coach John, and this is the series of videos we'll be doing about rear foot elevated split squat with my cheater board right here, or you said Bulgarian squat?
Or Bulgarian split squat, yeah.
So that's the other name for it. And Coach John, from your experience dealing with athletes, what is your experience as far as what are some of the things we should be, or the subscribers, people watching this video should be watching out for as they do the Bulgarian split squat?
Okay.
So much easier to say that.
Yeah, Bulgarian split squat, rear foot elevated split squat. A lot of the breakdowns I see are similar to a bilateral squat, whether it be a back squat or front squat. Mainly that's because we're squatting, and it's still a squat. We're just in a split position, the lunge position. Now, the first thing I see when I have people do either a split squat or a rear foot elevated split squat is they might have a tendency to let their knees cave in or some slight valgus on the way down.
So going in or going out?
Yes.
Because they don't have a good stabilizers. Yes. As they're going down.
Yes, and so just like the regular back squat or a bilateral squat, you want your knees to track your toes. What does that mean? That means that we don't want any deviation from the point of our knee from our toes. We should be able to draw a straight line between the two. If your knee's in, then that's a valgus. If it's out, we don't want that too much either.
So you don't want to go that way or this way.
No,
you're going down.
Yes, we want the toes and the knees in line. That's number one. Number two, the breakdown I see a lot is at the hips. When individuals are going straight down, now depending on the adaptation we want, say we want athletic development, we're going to have a slight bend in our hips. We're going to be slightly inclined. We're not going to be all the way over. We're not going to be perfectly straight. We're going to have a slight incline at our hips, and we're going to keep this angle down and up. We're going to keep this angle down and up. I see a lot of individuals when they set this angle and they're coming down, they have a tendency to either bend over or lean back. We want to keep this angle the entire time.
So can you do the side view of that, what that looks like? And I'll show what that translates into from my perspective. And when it comes to injuries, what John is saying, that your whole spine is aligned with the back leg. So you're hip hinging to match that. So if you're staying up here, you're not on the same line as the back leg. You're not keeping a neutral spine, and that's how you're going to jack up your lower back. So to fix this, you're going to hinge on the hips, not at the waist. So you're not going to stay here and just bend forward this way at the waist and keep it. Well, I guess technically what you just did was hip hinge, but this is like sometimes people do that, and that's it, bending at the waist, not at the hinge. So be watchful of that, otherwise you're going to really mess yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. So what she said.
You concur.
I concur. And so for the last thing I usually see when I have individuals do this is they put too much weight on that back foot. They're kind of, and you'll know if you're doing this, if you get foot cramps, if you do foot cramps while you're doing this exercise, you probably have too much weight on that back foot. Now we don't want, we need to be about maybe 60-40 or even maybe 70-30. The back foot is mainly just to stabilize yourself so you don't fall over or it's not a single leg squat. We still have weight on both feet, but we don't want to have too much weight on that back foot, because then we're not going to get the adaptation we want on that front foot.
Which makes sense, because if you think about it, when you're standing on both feet, your whole upper body is there. If you're going forward and you're hip hinging, so now your upper body weight is loaded on the front. So it makes sense to not even have 50-50 weight distribution between the front and back. These are little things that we should be watchful for, because it really sucks to be doing the workout and then getting injured and now you've got a setback. So thanks for bringing that to attention. I'm sure you see a lot of that with what you do with UCI and Beckman, right?
Yes.
Anything else that we should be careful about?
So we have the foot. We want our knees tracking our toes. We have the hips. We want to set a good angle and keep that angle. And then we have the back foot. We don't want to put too much weight on it, but we want to be stable in our position.
How about the ankle distribution? I mean, angulation. Should the toes be tracking forward? Should they be out? Should they be in? What's the back foot and the front foot feet configuration?
So that's
and positioning.
Just like a bilateral squat, that's going to be a little dictating on your hip anatomy. So it's going to be a little different from person to person. Mainly what I usually have people do is get into about hip width or about their squat position if they're doing a regular back squat, and I have them step straight back with one foot and have them both facing forward and then go from there.
Okay, very good. Anything else we should watch out for?
So now we have 4 things. We have the foot, the back foot, the hip, and the stance position. I would say your foot in relation, how wide should I step? Now that's going to vary a little bit, just like the last point.
I'm sure depending on if it's a beginner, advanced, or rehab, all of that changes.
Exactly.
So we'll be doing more videos on that very subject. So we'll go over some of the things you need to do if you're a beginner about to do the Bulgarian split squat. Even that is mouthful. Or if you're rehabbing because you've already injured yourself. At any rate, the purpose of these videos is to educate you, empower you, and make sure you don't hurt yourself. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out our website, Irvine Spine and Wellness Center. Thanks, Coach John.